New research shows that most of the money that you spend on luxury safaris on the African continent or in luxury tourism to Africa only goes to the foreign corporations. It leaks out. It doesn't even reach African communities in those areas. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Lily. I have been a travel journalist for more than 15 years, focusing on sustainable tourism. And I have also lived in 8 countries. So I've seen a lot of this inequity in tourism. Recently, I was at an event sitting on a panel about the future of tourism, and an audience member asked a question about the ethics of safari tourism on the continent and asked why it was that so many tour operators in the United States and in the West were packaging tourism to Africa as safari, and why these packages were strictly including only like national park visits and stops. And it was really just nothing that was an authentic interaction with the residents of that destination. I took the question and I just volunteered basically because it's a topic that I'm passionate about. And I said, you're absolutely right. And you can push back. You can ask the travel agent, the person, the tour operator who's organizing your trip, to include more than just a safari on your trip, to diversify your choices and to put you in contact with local residents, whether it's a cooking class, whether it's a history walk in the city, whether it's a nightlife moment. We really need to stop the Disneyfication of Africa. Whether you're going to Rwanda, Botswana, or South Africa, there's a lot more to these destinations than the wildlife. Absolutely, seeing an elephant in the wild, incredible experience. But let's be real. What about the communities that were pushed out of these national parks to make way for your tourism lodge? I said, briefly that you have the power to make those choices. Then a few minutes later on the same panel, a gentleman who's a more senior and retired travel journalist said, well, Americans only get 2 weeks of vacation a year and we should just let people do whatever they want. That comment really stuck with me and it ground my gears because it is a very irresponsible thing to say when we know that tourism is a very powerful industry with a huge impact and a huge footprint, and whatever decisions we make has definitely an impact on the ground in the places that we visit. So for us to just do whatever we want when we go abroad is not responsible, and it's not smart either. And now this new study makes clear why it matters how we choose to spend our time when we are on vacation in these destinations, whether it's a safari, whether it is a luxury resort beach vacation in Mauritius, or whether you're going to Botswana. It matters. Your choices matter. But here's what the study found. Luxury tourism creates enclaves. In other words, it creates isolated resorts and parks that are disconnected from everyday life in the destination. Jobs are limited, they are low wage for residents, and communities sometimes even lose access to their ancestral lands because a lodge is being built where you are enjoying a recreational safari. And then most of the profits actually leave Africa and the African destination that you're visiting, because these are foreign multinationals most of the time that own the luxury lodges. So the study looks at 3 countries with slightly different scenarios, but it's the same concept. It's luxury tourism, it's gorilla trekking, which costs a lot of money, it's luxury beach resorts in Mauritius. It's kind of the same concept of luxury tourism that extracts but doesn't give back as much as it takes. And then you're part of that when you sign up for a vacation in these specific resorts. And yet luxury tourism is one of those sectors that makes such big promises. They almost make you feel like they're changing the world, by charging more and by having luxury travelers visit. But the footprint is massive. Think about the, wealthy travelers who take jets, private jets, to go to like 1, 2, 3 destinations on safari at once. And they don't schlep through airports, or they ride by helicopter. And all of that is just a massive footprint, much more than commercial jetliners. And imagine all of the footprint of the imported foods in luxury lodges that, are brought there to cater to this high-end clientele. And yet we're sold the idea that high-value tourists are more valuable for a destination than others. Back to the comment on that panel, do our choices really matter even if we only have 2-week vacation? And the answer is absolutely yes. Even if you only have a week for vacation every year. Short trips, long trips, all of it shapes the economy, it shapes places. The money spent in 2 weeks, in some cases, in some of these destinations, equals somebody's entire annual salary. Now multiply that across millions or hundreds of thousands of travelers, and the impact is huge. So It's never just a vacation. It's never just 2 weeks. Each trip is a vote for the kind of tourism industry we want to have, and it's also a vote for the kind of welcome you want to have when you visit a destination, whether you're living there or whether you're just a tourist. I've come up with a list of 10 reasons that your travel choices matter. Your dollars always flow somewhere, and you decide where that will be. Heritage is either preserved or diluted. Safari and luxury tourism most often are foreign owned and benefit foreign corporations. Communities are very often displaced when it comes to safari tourism. Demand for local experiences and local entrepreneur experiences. That in turn creates equity. Travel marketing is never neutral. Just remember, every time you see a travel ad online, it is never neutral, whether it's for a safari or a luxury trip, etc. Then we have to think about all of the resources that we use that are actually locals' resources, but that we are using in larger numbers because we're visitors. And then let's remember that tourism is an $11.1 trillion industry as of this year. It is powerful, it is full of privilege, and it's people largely with higher income that travel and that have the ability to shift the landscape when it comes to how our travels impact other places. So when you're planning that luxury safari trip or any international trip, don't stay in a bubble. Ask to diversify your itinerary, hold the travel agents and the tour operators accountable, and choose operators who have the same values and who work with local entrepreneurs to ensure that the money spreads way beyond the foreign owners of a lodge. Every decision we make matters, particularly when you're going to the African continent. So I hope you keep that in mind. If you want to learn more about conscious ways to travel around the world or move, then this is the channel for you. Subscribe, hit like, and leave me a comment. And I'll see you next time.